Mighty Max Hammer's Axeman is actually one of the last ever playsets that I do remember getting as a kid, and I remember thinking, wow, this one is ugly, awesomely ugly, and coloured like some sort of lumpy cartoon snot. I love the skewered look of the face. Obviously, we've got this massive blade feature, which it's a bit unusual to have an action feature like this located on the outside of a Mighty Max playset, especially a horror head. It's a pretty cool look overall as far as these horror heads goes. I don't remember liking it as much as the heads of like Talon or Zomboid or Survive's Corpus, but it might just be the colour. The green is pretty gaudy, and yes, of course, that green extends right into the inside of the playset. I think it's supposed to be like this prison chamber, but yeah, a bright green one. If I was a prisoner, I'd think the bright green walls would probably drive me crazy. I'm going to assume this is like his personal hell. Of course, the set is called Mighty Max Hammer's Axeman, but Axeman seems to prefer having a chainsaw. It's up to the Mighty One to stop Axeman and save the prisoner. The action feature seen from the outside of the playset obviously takes up a lot of the inside as well. It works in well with the torture chamber vibe that Axeman has got going. One thing that always stuck out to me though was the paint job on the prisoner. It's ambitious, and it also looks really terrible. The paint applications never look great in these horror heads, and I guess we can see it all blown up and splashed across the wall. I also thought as a kid that he was massive, like the prisoner was just so much bigger than the characters we got. But lining them up next to each other, the prisoner's pretty much on scale, but I guess the perspective and being against the wall, he does look a lot bigger. So there was actually a cartoon episode called The Axeman Cometh. Weirdly enough, Lockjaw, the main villain, is closer related to the Mighty Max Tangles with Lockjaw playset.
And while we're at it, maybe we could do something to save ourselves?
We'll need to look a bit further to the Norman's Conquest episode to meet Spike. He's the dreaded monster that defeated Norman's father once upon a time. During that fight with Norman's father, we see Spike get a face full of sticks. So I guess that explains the skewered face of this set. When Spike gets revived, it's up to Norman to face his past and overcome the trauma that he suffered as a kid. The horror head is pretty gruesome, and I didn't expect the cartoon to recreate the horrific facial injuries, but overall it is a pretty cool adaptation, and I feel like the cartoon did really play to its strengths, and it did that by fleshing out the story around Norman. So we've covered a lot of these horror heads on the channel already. If you're a fan of these mini Mighty Max playsets, feel free to check out a couple of others. We've got one more horror head to go. It's seen better days. The poor guy is falling apart a bit in a kind of unique way, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you wanted to check out a few of the comic panels from these playsets, as well as a few higher resolution images, I'll have those available on the Leftover Culture Review website. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hopefully we're going to catch you again soon. Cheers.